Now part 62 is fitting the servo horn with a 3mm 8. It's a very nice looking horn. I don't know whether it's cast or machined. Doesn't look cast. It's hard to really tell. I think this is actually machined. Very nice. So I'm going to plug the electrics in, which I've got all ready to one side. Servo's okay. We'll flip it over. I don't know what spline this is. What do they say? Oh. Well, I'll try pulling it on gently with a screw and see what happens, but that should have fitted. Normally they're 25s all round. Check that it works. Right, we'll adjust that a little bit, but that's the servo horn done. Just going to back this screw out and put a bit of thread lock. I've put the servo the wrong way around, according to what they say. But it'll make no difference because I'll just fit it to the other side of the steering. It's bi-directional, so it's not really a problem. I'm going to loosen these off a bit. I don't know where I can shove the servo a little bit sideways. Nope, that is in. I'll have to set the end point because it's hitting the chassis. And even though I fitted it the other way around, it won't make any difference at all. Because the servo's in the centre. But that does complete 62. Now part 63, we've got a spacer tube, a longer screw and a screw for the servo horn. Basically what you've got to do is fit the servo arm and then just take a bolt out on the steering and wind it through with the spacer. It's as simple as that. So first things first, there's a 3mm 10. Could be the screw I'm taking out, quite unsurprisingly, but we'll do it bit by bit. A bit of thread lock through their pre-made arm. Actually, I'm going to have to turn the servo around because the arm faces backwards. I've put it on the wrong way round. That's why it's hitting, so don't worry about that. That's the trouble with looking in black and white. I don't always see everything. But it's not a big problem. I'll have these off very quick. I'm definitely having an off day today. But then, if you knew the start of the day I had, you would understand. Righto, I've destroyed another screw. So now with the arm in the right place and all that, we can flip it back again and take out this screw. Now that is a longer screw. So now we've got to go, it's hard to show because the way they do this with the tyres on is, let's see, it would be arm, spacer, through the lot, through the hub area. And we've changed head size, we've gone up to the 2.5. And there we go, we're in. Let's put some power on. Well, there's plenty of steering. Could be too much, but that's a lot of steering. I think that's is OTT. So we'll reduce it down a little bit on the endpoints, but that does complete stage 63. Now after a lot of faffing with the steering, because I weren't happy with it at all, what I decided to do was, because the screw didn't go in very deep into the steering, there was a lot of movement here. So what I've done is I've got the longest stainless I had, gone through and put on a nut on the other side, and then these are plastic, they're not metal, so a bit disappointed. But what I've done is they only went halfway into the plastic, the screw, which was going to last about 5 seconds with this strength of servo. So what I done again was take the screw out, put a longer screw in and put a nut on the other end, which will stop that pulling out because it's solid. It's a, you know, a lot of them where they just put a screw through on this part, sometimes, especially with this extension, is go all the way through and put a nut on it. You know, it's not gonna, it would really have to go some for the tyre to touch it, so it's not an issue either side. But just longer screws and a nut, then it clamps the whole lot together, so you're not going to pull it out the plastic or anything. So the steering is ready. I've set the end points, and it just needs probably very slight central trim once it's tested. But all that faffing around just to do part 63, you know, you notice little things like that, because but even saying so, even if, how can I put it, they didn't put it all the way through and a nut on it, why not put a screw that goes all the way to the base to give it that, so it's, at least it's going the full distance in the plastic, not halfway, which is a recipe in my opinion for disaster at the best of times. So we've modded that, and that completes 63.